Hello, and welcome to an introduction of PCG's I4OS Smart Factory powered by Tulip. Today, I'm going to give you a brief introduction to PCG, talk about the manufacturing challenges, and introduce you to Smart Factory for NetSuite. Who is PCG? We are a very unique alliance and SDN partner within the NetSuite ecosystem. We have a very experienced crew with deep manufacturing domain knowledge. We understand the NetSuite platform, your business processes, and how to generate customer success for you. We are very much a hands-on organization. We roll up our sleeves and do the work right alongside of your people. We are uniquely positioned to help the NetSuite customer from assessment and strategy to our Suite Success Velocity approach, to larger corporate deals. But today we're going to talk about Smart Factory and what it means to extending the value of the NetSuite platform. Every shop floor faces unique challenges. As you look around the layout, these 8 represent very common opportunities experienced by everyone. It's a lack of standardized processes, poor equipment utilization, possibly quality not quite up to compliance, preventable waste and downtime. Visibility is frequently challenging to understand where materials are within the value stream or as they progress through the facility. It's very easy to have labor productivity opportunities. People make errors. All that results in lost profitability. Some fast facts: by the year 2024, 50% of manufacturing solutions will actually synchronize machines to provide near real-time transaction management, control, data collection, and analytics. What's even more interesting, I think, is despite a $2 trillion a year spend on automation, human manufacturing workforce resources are responsible for 70 to 80% of the failures. That brings us to Smart Factory for NetSuite. Smart Factory provides responsive, connected manufacturing. When you look at this diagram, what you see, your ERP, Oracle NetSuite, will be the system of record. And what Smart Factory looks to do is augment and extend the platform that ultimately is driving you into an environment of continuous improvement. If you look on the left, the platform itself is likely replacing legacy manufacturing software. Smart Factory enables you to connect and monitor machines, sensors, other smart tools, and between the platform and the Smart Factory application, we digitize paper processes. All of that is presenting the visual factory in a manner that's very easy to comprehend and absorb, and driving all of that appropriate data back into the NetSuite ERP and taking advantage of NetSuite Suite Analytics for a vast array of performance evaluation. The foundational features of Smart Factory are the building blocks of NetSuite: the work order, the bill of material, the various inventory management parameters, routings, supply planning, the costing engine. Smart Factory is Suite Success enabled, designed for the emerging, mid-market, or corporate customer. The key with Smart Factory is NetSuite transactions are updated in real time, influencing work order completions, costs of goods sold, inventory management, the GL as every financial transaction occurs, and ultimately populating Suite Analytics to evaluate performance in real time. The foundational shop floor elements include interactive work instructions, labels and scanning, labor reporting, downtime, scrap reporting, the ability to augment NetSuite QMS for other quality and compliance requirements, If you have an MES system or are looking to take advantage of machine monitoring capability, Smart Factory brings that capability to bear. All of the integration with NetSuite has been carefully built, tested, and updated as need be with each NetSuite release by the PCG team. We take advantage of the no-code Tulip platform that also enables a variety of other apps available through their library, ultimately providing all of the analytics, or the vast majority of it, through NetSuite Suite Analytics, because like we say with Smart Factory, everything starts and ends in NetSuite. All of that capability is really designed to complement any of the NetSuite manufacturing options. So whether you're doing work orders and assemblies, whip and routings, even using advanced manufacturing, Smart Factory has the opportunity to complement anything that you may be doing with NetSuite in your manufacturing environment. It's important to know that Smart Factory is Suite Success enabled. When the bundle is deployed, it launches all the appropriate necessary records and scripts in your NetSuite environment as well as your Tulip account. It's leveraging all of the native NetSuite functions that we've already talked about. Out-of-the-box integrations drives the appropriate REST lists and scripts. It supports, as I just mentioned, all the manufacturing transactions, and NetSuite product run records customized by PCG share the same internal IDs with the underlying Smart Factory tables, so there's tremendous integration and integrity of all that operational data. Ultimately, Smart Factory provides a leap forward to a fully connected enterprise and manufacturing system. So whether you're concerned most about process, about your workforce, the customer experience, your equipment, and likely those are all high priorities for you, Smart Factory for NetSuite enables, just like all the other business processes within the NetSuite platform, to be completely integrated and seamless, so all of the resources within your organization are working in good concert with one another in real time with highly visible information easily shared. So let's go look at Smart Factory. Now we're going to begin this first demonstration of Smart Factory using what's called the Tulip Player. This enables the UI that the operator would typically engage within their manufacturing environment. This first version is going to show you what typically might be a very manual exercise right now, using clipboards or turning in information after the shift or after a work order is completed for the back office to complete. We're going to do everything in real time. So I'm going to select a location in my shift. I'm going to go out to the work center I was assigned today, and what I just want to draw your eye to are two work orders that are up on the screen just to show you what that work queue looks like. 721 and 821. What I'm going to do now is go over to NetSuite, and you're looking at a dispatch list that shows a variety of different work orders. And what we're going to do to really emphasize that everything starts and ends in NetSuite, we're going to go out to a work order, copy it, so you have a sense for the speed of the integration between the two platforms, execute that work order, and then come back to NetSuite and look at the results of that information as it's returned to NetSuite to drive all the transactions we spoke of. So we're going to take work order 788. I'm just going to make a copy of it. And whereas 788 was for a quantity of 3, we're going to execute a new work order for a quantity of 5, just so it looks different. And let's go ahead and save this work order. And what you're going to see, it's going to get a new number. And then we'll go out over to Smart Factory and see what's happened. So what's happening in NetSuite right now, the bill of material for this item is being extrapolated against a quantity of 5 to determine what are the needs to execute this work order, and it's also assembling and marshaling all the routing steps, which in this case is only one. So we're going to go out and execute work order 828. And while I'm over here at the work order, I'll draw your eye to there's 3 components. I will tell you that this middle component is a lot controlled item, and we're going to take advantage of some scanning capability. These other 2 items, the case and the labels, are non-lot controlled, and they're going to be smart backflushed when I report my 5. My operations, it's a one-step operation in case packing. So let's go back over to Smart Factory. And there you see 828 is immediately there. So that integration is that quick. We're going to go ahead and start this work order, and timer's going to start. So all of our performance is going to be evaluated. I'm going to go back over to NetSuite just for a second, and then we'll come back to Smart Factory. But there's one other key element of integration I want to share with you. And this is the custom record smart product run created by PCG. And what we have just started for work order 828 has an internal ID of 24625. That's really important because this internal ID was generated in NetSuite when we started the work order and will be forever linked with this product run we're executing over in Smart Factory. So you see it's 828 at the case packer for the item that we generated, and there's the start time on Eastern time as I just initiated that work order. Now, when I started that work order, it took me to my work instructions. These can be as simple or as detailed as they need to. Work instructions can be text. They can come with images. If I want to expand that image to make sure in the spirit of standardized work, as an operator, I know exactly what I need to do and how that palette should look as I pack the various cases that I'm responsible for. I'm going to go back to my work instruction page, and what I'll point out here is the Smart Factory foundational app has a very consistent presentation to all of the operators. The header always reminds me what work order I'm on, the item I'm making, the rate that I should be performing at, what the work order quantity is, and how I'm doing against that requirement. The subheader really is a reminder for what operation step, which work center, and what step am I performing. The navigation buttons down at the bottom allow me to traverse to any of the reporting options that are typical that my supervisor expects me to report along the way, and I'll share those with you. So let's go out and issue material first. The reason that I pointed out that work order bill of material, there you see those items. So not only when I started the work order did an internal ID get created to link all the operational data in this product run to NetSuite, but the work order operations as well as the bill of material were brought over to Smart Factory. And just a little evidence of that linkage, we always expose that internal ID, and it matches what you saw over in NetSuite. So I'm going to go ahead and take advantage of my scanning capability. I'm connected to a scanner right now, and I'm going to scan that one lot controlled item. And what you'll see is it's recognized I'm looking to issue that one material. I'm going to go ahead and scan my lot number, and what I'm going to end up doing here is issuing all 100. And as I record that issue, if you watch my table, it will update to remind me that I've issued all 100. There's nothing left to issue because the other 2 components are not lot controlled and they are smart backflushed. That allows me to either begin packing cases or report anything else that may be relevant. I'm going to pick up on some downtime. The system recognizes what work center I'm at, presents the appropriate downtime categories to me. I'm going to account for my standard changeover time, which was 5 minutes. I'll go ahead and record that. Takes me immediately out to the production reporting, but I have a little more downtime that I want to pick up on. I also had some excess changeover time related to my inkjet printer. I lost about 4 minutes there. I want to make sure my supervisor's aware of that, because we are dead serious about continuous improvement, and every minute counts. The other things I would point out that I have the ability to record if possible, or if needed, I should say. My bill of material gets repeated in my material loss. So for this operation step, if I'd scrapped any of these components, I can signify not only what did I scrap, but select the reason that the scrap incurred. Again, we're always looking to improve the operation. We want to be able to link that scrap reason to that item, to this work center, to this item, to get to the lowest common denominator, to make sure that I am solving the problems not only that are impacting me today, but preventing them from reoccurring in the future. Now, in the spirit of positivity, we're not going to have any scrap today. I'm going to account for my labor as part of executing this work order. I'm a direct position. I'm a packer. Now, I'm running this on my regular shift hours. You could see that Smart Factory allows the operations team to account for overtime hours. I'm going to go ahead and put in that I worked 1 hour, crew of 1. It's designed to make crew reporting really easy. I'm also going to pick up that I had a helper out there for half of the work order, or for half an hour. I also had my setup resource did get engaged for about 15 minutes to make sure that I got through that inkjet issue, and I'm putting out good cases that are legible for the customer. So there's my labor that I want to record, designed to be very easy to account for the crew. And let's go over and report some production. I'm actually going to report all 5 cases that I've completed. Take advantage of a barcode that I have on the case. Go ahead and scan that barcode. My expiry date, I can either type it in or it comes with a picker. I'm going to move it up 3 months, which is my expected shelf life. Go ahead and report production. You'll watch my header update. I've essentially completed this particular work order. Let's go ahead and end our work order reporting. The product run summary screen allows me to review all of my work. There's the 5 I completed, have the right expiry date. I caught up with all the downtime that I needed. I can see that I have the 1.75 hours of labor by the mix, and there is the 100 pounds that I issued of that lot controlled item. This looks good to go to me. I can confirm this. Let's go ahead and send it over to NetSuite. And what you'll see happening now is it's brought me back to my work queue. Work order 28 has disappeared because it's finished. That's now noise to me. I want to focus on what's next. And had the planner scheduled something else, I would see that. My supervisor may direct me to just start from the top and continue working down. If they said, Ken, I need you to go switch to another machine, we're holding off on these 2 particular work orders for whatever reason, I can go back to my queue, select the former. If that's where he sends me, that work order queue is presented to me, and I repeat the process that we just saw. So a very nimble exercise, pretty easy for me to for an operator. Allowed me to check my work before I sent it over to NetSuite. And now let's go look at NetSuite to see the results of my work executed in Smart Factory. So if I start with my product run and I refresh, you'll see that there's everything that we just did. There's the 5 units I made. There's my 1.75 hours of labor. Behind the scenes in our tables, we have the approximate labor rate for each of those crew members, and that's extrapolated out against the 1.75 hours that I've used. Downtime minutes, as we reported, are 9, and you could see the status is ready. That means all the information has been received. Some scripts are running in the background that will ultimately drive the the work order execution. So let's refresh again and see what's taken place. Now you can see that the scripts have completed. We have a transacted work order with a work order completion number of 506. So let's go back out and return to our work order. Here's 828. Let's go ahead and update that work order, or refresh it, I should say. Here we see quantity built is 5. My used in build was the 100 that I've issued. There's the 5 cases that were smart backflushed, as well as the 20 labels that went out against that. Let's go ahead and take a look at our related records. And there's work order completion 506, just like you saw. Again, I wanted to emphasize the integrity of the data passing between the two platforms. And if I go look at that work order completion, there's the 5 that I completed. There's the inventory detail that I assigned it. There's the lot number that I provided it. And there's the bin that's configured in SmartFactory that immediately recognizes where that material is now available, so it can be moved appropriately either to storage or possibly go directly to shipping for fulfillment. The other keys are with my raw materials. There you could see these are the lot controlled items, or the lot controlled item that I issued from my staging bin. And as you saw with the used in build, there's the 5 cases and the 20 labels that were automatically smart backflushed from that same staging bin. The other thing, as you would expect with NetSuite, the GL impact of those transactions are immediate. And as a result of my manufacturing cost template, there are all the representative debits and credits to the various accounts based on the configuration of those bill of material items and that one-step operation routing. So now let's go out to Suite Analytics and take a look at the results of our work. Now, to make this more interesting, what I've done with Suite Analytics, since that was a very short demo and frankly a much more compressed time for the purpose of this video, what I've gone out to is a typical SmartFactory operating report designed to show you kind of a rolling weekly accumulation of results across multiple work centers. Even in this particular case, we're illustrating multiple locations if need be, the shifts, the assemblies, down to the work order level, and the various operating metrics relevant to any manufacturing environment, to even include some metrics such as calculated downtime. So based on what was reported for runtime, quantity produced that generates earned hours and efficiency, we're helping calculate what downtime should have been reported versus what actually was reported, to make sure that your team's attention to detail is as sharp and focused as it needs to be to drive all the value out of your operation. Part of making labor reporting very easy is not only to report the hours, but the approximate dollars spent on that crew to execute that work order to drive the relevant ratios of units per labor hour or approximate labor dollars per unit, recognizing in many environments those are critical metrics that need to be monitored for all of the operations. SmartFactory Suite Analytics also comes with a variety of graphics, again, taking advantage of Suite Analytics to look at daily work center efficiency, where we're comparing each of the work centers day by day as the week unfolds. We may be looking at daily assembly labor dollars per unit, comparing various items that we're producing. One that I particularly like is comparing units per run hour of each product against its standard within its manufacturing routing to see where there's opportunity. In these two cases, you could see these two products are holding serve. There's some opportunity against this mixed product, and we're going to come back and look at that in a minute. And the last two graphic options allow you to compare products against one another from units per labor hour, labor dollars per unit. One nice thing about Suite Analytics, there's a lot of flexibility inside it. I'm going to take my daily work center efficiency, I'm going to filter it by a particular work center where I know that mix item that looked like it was struggling is produced, and I'm going to convert this graphic into one that shows me really a trend analysis at the blender where I'm making that mixer in. Indeed, I started the week off pretty rough, but I could see that the efforts of my supervisors, my maintenance teams, my quality, possibly some mini Kaizen events is starting to have the desired effect as the week continues to roll on. So hopefully that gives you a sense for some of the capability for reporting and analyzing your operations within Smart Factory. But I wanted to close the demonstration portion by actually going out to the NetSuite Quality Management module. I've already opened my tablet. My queue is open. And the point that I wanted to make is you just saw me complete work order 828. There it is on my queue almost immediately. And it launches me into the opportunity to conduct the necessary sampling inspections of case weight and label legibility for that production that I just completed. The key point is Smart Factory, in its integration with the platform and all of the core transactions, is as equally integrated with any other NetSuite modules that you're using to maximize your platform experience.